It's been 2 years since this bad boy launched. The BMW i8 was the first purpose-built sports car for sustainability and complete in its journey from concept to reality. So now, 2 years on, I'm giving it another go to see if I still feel the same way I did from when it launched back in 2015 to now. Then you say, oh, taking it old school. And I know that some people find that it might not be as exciting. It's a plug-in hybrid after all, and the numbers don't necessarily grab you like, say, another sports car might. However, this is the future. This is it, guys. So kind of get used to it. And I have to tell you, it's going to be easy to get used to it. It's actually fabulous driving this car. Oh, I died in your arms tonight. It must have been something to say. Speaking of numbers, so you have a 1.5 litre turbocharged 3-cylinder engine driving the rear wheels, and that one gives you 170 kilowatts of power and 320 newton meters of torque. Should've walked away. I should've walked away. Powering the front wheels, you've got a 96 kilowatt, 250 newton meter electric motor and battery pack. So separately, those numbers don't sound amazing, but put them together and you get 266 kilowatts and 570 newton meters of torque. And so things start sounding better. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous at the thought of all my years have gone by. Speaking of sound though, it is synthetic and comes through the radio, which I prefer. I think that I don't want other people to hear the sound of the car that I'm driving. I want to hear it, you know? Ha ha ha, there it is. And I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever. It has immediate torque, sort of sufficient, perfect power. Together we can take it to the end of the line. Like I've said before, a sports car, the Lamborghini I drove, I'm quite mortified driving them because everybody stares at you and it sort of attracts so much attention. But I'm glad I got to drive this now 2 years on. It still grabs as much attention as it did the day that it launched. People are staring at me, not me, the car, wherever I go, at the robots. If I get out, people ask me about it. It still has that wow factor. And 2 years on, that's quite an accomplishment. And I think because it's electric, or has an electric motor, people are sort of more intrigued by it. So there's a lot more questions that come my way, say, than when I had the Lamborghini. I don't know if it's necessary for it to be in yellow, because if I wasn't attracting enough attention already, I now am like this massive bumblebee driving along the road with everybody staring at me. Getting in and out of this car, also not an easy task. Yesterday I fell out, and then when I stood up, I smacked my head on the door, which in front of a whole lot of people staring at the car is really, really embarrassing. I feel like I need a little confidence boost or something, like maybe I need to stop being so insecure. How elegantly you need to get it. Gosh. Elegant, Tim. Getting out. That is not fun. All of the time, I don't know what to do. I'm always in the dark. In my launch review, I wrote that this is a sports car of the future in the now. And I think that stood very true 2 years ago. And even now, it's still a bit true. It's still a bit sort of relevant because we're not there yet. BMW is striving for sustainable mobility, and with the launch of, i-vehicles, etc. The i3, the i8 are doing quite well, in fact. Since it launched, they've sold just under 400 of both of them. And we are going to get there. I think it's going to take a while. Obviously, we still don't really have the infrastructure, but again, BMW is working on that. Now I can go to the waterfront and charge it there, or Constanta Village, or there are a number of places, a lot of BMW places. If you own one of these, you can get the battery pack as well. So they are sort of getting there, but it is going to take a while. So until then, I sort of think, do you know, why would you spend the just over 2 million rand for this car when you could get a proper sports car, which I don't like using that term because this is a sports car, but a traditional sports car is probably the better word. But I guess it depends on what you're after and just how earth conscious you are. I feel like the electric motor just adds that little unique thing that you don't get from the others. So after 2 years, I still think this is a great little car. Not that little, actually. Once upon a time I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. Nothing I could do, a total eclipse of the heart.